Okay, now it's your red shirt, junior year, and also your senior year. Your junior year, Glenn is gone. Not giving your huge expectations now on being a man at Purdue, or
Well,
what transpired.
we still had a really good team. Everybody thought that since Glenn was gone, he was, when a guy that leaves that averages 30 points and 10 rebounds, and was just, just unstoppable. Everybody said, "Oh man, Purdue is, the dog is gone. So now, man, you guys gonna be in the middle of the pack like everybody else." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I knew some guys from other teams, and we talked, chop it up over the summer, and I remember Coach called me in. He said, "Man, Glenn's gone. We're gonna need some scoring and rebounding. So this is your opportunity to step up, so everybody know what you can do." I said, "Okay, cool." So they sent me to. I was playing in the summer league up in Chicago. A lot of guys from college players, the pros, high school guys in Chicago. The Sonny Parker League, man, just great talent. I was on a team with Nazir Muhammad,
Yeah.
who's with the Oklahoma City Thunder now, but Rashard Griffin was playing in the league, Antoine Walker, a few pros, just to name a few. And man, it did wonders for my game. I want to say I averaged about 25 in that league. We lost in the championship game to Rashard's team. So, Rashard and I, he's a good friend. We talking trash, and so, man, this is what you guys gonna get when I come to Wisconsin. And so the season starts off really well. We brought in Roy Harrison as Glenn's replacement. Man, really good player. We win a big tournament out in Hawaii. We beat Iowa State, double or triple overtime. So everybody's like, "Man, Purdue might do something this year." Iowa State was a top 10 team, and we're going to lose 3 games in a row. We kind of fatigued. I'm coming back from Hawaii, and as soon as we touch down, we probably got a few hours to get our stuff, wash clothes. We're on to Detroit for the grade 8 tournament. We got to play Missouri. They get us at the end by about 2 or 3. And we lose the next 2 to James Madison and Western.
James Madison.
James Madison and Western Michigan. They got us. Really good. Good teams, but
yeah, I understand. Yeah,
they kind of caught us at when our legs were tired. But, Coach ripped us, and man, there's no excuse. And so we turned it up another notch, and get to the Big Ten season. We lose a few games. Coach says, I want to say maybe I didn't had a bad game, so takes me out the starting lineup, and so we just go on a win streak. Coach is a superstitious guy, so the rest of that season I come off the bench, but I played really well. It was probably my favorite season at Purdue because I would just come in and it was just nobody else had a bench like that in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I'm coming off the bench. I think I was named the most underrated player in the Big Ten. Coming off the bench, double figures, 7, 8 rebounds, 1.5, 2 block shots a game. We ended up winning the Big Ten. When everybody just knew that we weren't going to do anything because Dog was gone.
Yeah.
And we handed to everybody in the Big Ten. We got off to like a rough start first couple of games, and next thing you know, we win the Big Ten. We get a 3 seed in the tournament. We beat, I want to say, Wisconsin Green Bay first game. Second game, we got Memphis with David Vaughn, Lorenzo Wright, Cedric Henderson. We winning most of the game. They kind of come back. We got a lead, and they beat us on the tip end. David Vaughn tips the ball in. We lose the game.
Wow.
And so it was another disappointing ending to a season. Because I just knew. I said, man, we're gonna get to this Final Four. And it had been tough. Because I think the next round we had I want to say we'd have placed Arkansas. I think they beat Syracuse.
Yeah. Corliss Williamson and all them guys.
Yeah, I played against Corliss in high school and over the summer. So I said, man, I want to play against this dude, kind of see how his game is, how my game is improved. But never got that chance. So, it was a great season, but it was disappointing once again.
Gotcha. Now you're a senior at Purdue. Your last year of college basketball. Did you have any goals of going pro? And then also just give us your feedback on your senior season.
That's the goal. I think anybody that's serious about playing a sport is that you want to compete at the highest level. Highest level for any ball player, whether his weight is going to be NBA. And I knew it would be tough because the position I was playing, I was kind of undersized. But I said, man, if somebody just gave me a chance, I'd go in. I said, it's not too many guys who who had the heart like I did. Because looking back when I was in the Big Ten, especially like my first year, I was I was hands down the smallest center in the league. I was giving up 30, 40 pounds a night, maybe a couple of inches. But I would fight those guys tooth and nail, And I said when I get a chance to play my regular position, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be some smoke in the city for somebody because I would battle with John Amici, Pig Miller, Jawan and Chris, Randy Carter at Minnesota. Funderburg at Ohio State, Allen at Indiana. So I had my hands full every night. But senior year had 6 seniors. We had some very good sophomores. Chad Austin, Brad Miller. Had a McDonald's All-American and Luther Clay as a freshman. So we had a deep squad. We lose the first game of the season in Memphis. It was kind of rematch of that NCAA tournament game we lost. I want to say they kind of blew us out by maybe 15, 18 points. So after that, we pick it back up. Coaches, motivated guy, hard nosed. So practices are hard, and so we had a really good season. We won the Big Ten again, going to the tournament as a #1 seed. Disappointing loss in the second round of Georgia. We had some guys banged up. I just don't, I don't think we had the legs to kind of run with them in the second half. We didn't really play our game, and they played a really great game, and we lost. So it was disappointing end, but looking back, I'm proud of my college career. 3 Big Ten championships, 2 #1 seeds in the tournament, a 3 seed. Did some special things during my time, but it was a great experience. Playing for a coach like Coach Katie. It was no such thing as days off. You're gonna fight every day. You want to keep your spot. You're gonna fight every day. Defense, 3-hour practices, hard weightlifting sessions. I don't think anybody in the country conditioned like we did. And so as I went on, played pro ball overseas. It really helped me just because of the work that I put in, the work ethic that I was able to develop at Purdue. I was able to pass guys up overseas, outplan my work them, and kind of get the jobs that I wanted to get. Whereas some other guys who maybe might have been a little bit talented, or maybe a little bit bigger than I was able to beat them out.
So you didn't get no NBA looks because you was undersized power forward, or what?
I got invited to camp with the Pacers.
Okay.
Went in, I played really well. But they pretty much had a veteran team. That team went on to the Eastern Conference Finals and gave
Dale Davis, them man.
Dale Davis, Antonio, Jalen. They played the Bulls about 2 years later. That same team took the Bulls down to the wire.
Game 7, yeah.
Game 7. So, just going in and just being able to play with some of those guys who were there. Coach Brown was the head coach at the time. Just that week and a half, a week, however long I was there, that helped my game. Just being able to learn from a great coach and guys at that level. And I played really well. So they said, man, well, tell you what, in a couple of years you go overseas, you work on your ball handling, you get like a little bit stronger, whatever, and you come back, you're gonna get a serious look. But I came back, I had some lower back problems. And anybody knows you're going to you try for an NBA team and going to that camp, if you're not 100% or close to it, it's going to be rough. It's real rough. So I had to pass on it. But looking back, I was just glad that I opened up somebody's eyes and they saw something in me. So it's I was proud of it.
Gotcha. Now, just hearing your story, you was always kind of guy that you love the game of basketball, but you never felt like you was that man when you really was. Then you go to Purdue and have a great college career, and now you playing overseas in basketball. Now, what is your mindset playing overseas in basketball, just dealing with the different language barriers and things of that nature?
Believe it or not, the language barrier wasn't really the hard part, because I guess a lot of the teams and the clubs overseas are so used to Americans coming over that mostly everybody spoke English.
Okay.
That they didn't, it was a translator around. So I was never really in a position where I couldn't communicate with anybody, and that was probably one of my biggest fears going over. But I said, oh man, I was in Spain, I knew a little bit to get by, so I could communicate with a lot of those guys. Did 3 years in Italy. Everybody spoke English. And so the biggest part was just playing well, because it was, you go overseas and as an American, you know, at the time you only allowed 2 Americans per club.
Okay.
And when you go over, you really gotta be the man. I was the type of guy, I was always a team player. I never wanted to be the man. I just wanted to play my game.
Why is that though?
Why didn't I want to be the man?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it was just the way I came up. I was always a team guy. I guess, that's just in my DNA. So, but once you got over there, it's like, man, you got to take the big shots. You got to get the rebound. You got to do, pretty much everything. And it helped my game so much because, I had to do everything. That when it's time for that last shot, depending on what team I was, I knew they were coming to me. I was going to have to get the big stops and the big rebound. So it really did wonders for my game, just going over. Because you say, well, a lot of guys make a mistake, man. It's not the NBA, and those guys can play. Because a lot of those guys, when they're young, they don't have high school teams over there. So they, you 16, 15, 16, 17, those guys are working out with guys my age.
Gotcha.
They're not playing against guys their age. They playing against guys my age. And when you playing against older guys and they beat you up and they're physical and they teaching you stuff, you're gonna become so much better. Yeah. And I got over there and, man, all the big guys could shoot. They can handle the ball. And maybe not as physical as I was, but the way the game is played over there, you really can't. You're not gonna be as physical in some cases. So you had to make sure your skill level was right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Is the skill level overseas better than the? I'm gonna say this right. Is it better because them guys are not as athletic as guys in the NBA? So some guys put more work in on shooting, dribbling.
You got some athletic guys over there. You can see some of these guys that come over to the NBA. They surprise guys. Man, this guy is fast. Tony Parker was a guy I played against overseas. And he's probably the fastest guy with the ball in his hands I ever played against. And I played against some really good guys. A few other guys, but the way the game is it's similar. It's a mixture between college and the NBA. So you're not gonna be able to just break a guy down and get to the rack and they clear it out one-on-one because everybody plays zone. Gotcha. Most of the time. If you playing against an athletic team, you just pack it in. And if that guy can't shoot, he's gonna be in for a long night. So